Welcome to our tour of modern and minimalist Christmas trees. If you've pictured a Christmas tree as a big green spectacle, you're about to see a different side of the season. In this video, we'll explore trees that feel calm, contemporary, and incredibly versatile, the kind of centerpiece that complements rather than competes with your furniture. You'll notice how simplicity can be festive, how negative space and careful lighting carry the magic, and how you can create a stunning focal point without overwhelming a room. The images you'll see are generic, easy to imagine in your own home, and chosen to illustrate a design philosophy rather than a single look. Let's begin with the idea that a Christmas tree can be a sculptural element in your space, not a crowd of ornaments pressed into a corner. The first image shows a slender metal tree standing in a bright corner. It's almost a silhouette, a conical line drawn against a soft wall, with tiny warm lights curling around the frame. The effect is delicate, modern, and surprisingly cozy. Notice how the focus isn't on a dense collection of ornaments but on balance, the tree's shape, the glow, the way the light spills onto the surrounding surfaces. This is an example of using negative space as part of the decoration. Next, we shift to a wall-mounted wooden branch tree. There's no traditional trunk here. Instead, a few carefully chosen branches are arranged in a deliberate, asymmetrical pattern along the wall. The texture of the wood, the natural knots, and the organic line of the branches bring warmth without clutter. A string of small bulbs follows the lines, marking the tree's silhouette while keeping the overall look clean and airy. In another image, a wireframe cone tree rises from a small pedestal. It's essentially a sculpture you can walk around. The thin metal lines catch and reflect light, creating a delicate shimmer. A handful of minimal ornaments, perhaps a ceramic ball or a single wooden bead, sparingly punctuate the structure. The joke here isn't scarcity for its own sake, it's intention. Every ornament has a reason to exist, every line has purpose, and the light does some of the heavy lifting by adding warmth to the metal's cool edge. Then we land on a tabletop tree made from stacked wooden rings. It's a warm, tactile piece that feels crafted rather than purchased. The rings create a gentle gradient of light and shade, and the texture invites a touch. This kind of tree works beautifully on a coffee table or a console, the kind of centerpiece that invites conversation and keeps the room feeling open. Another image offers a minimalist evergreen formed from a series of layered, open frames. There's no need for a traditional full tree here. The stack of frames suggests volume while maintaining breathability. The frames act as little canvases for sparse ornaments or simple garlands, and the effect is architectural, like a gallery piece you'd live with all year. There are also variations that lean into the idea of color restraint. White painted branches, natural wood tones, charcoal silhouettes, and a hint of green foliage peek through. The palette stays steady: whites, creams, beiges, soft grays, and the occasional warm wood. The goal isn't color minimality alone, it's visual clarity, clear lines, quiet tones, and a sense of space for the eye to rest. Now, let's talk about how these trees are built to fit real homes. A modern minimalist tree often emphasizes scale. In a small apartment, a slim, slender frame on a stand can occupy less visual weight than a traditional tree. On a larger wall or a spacious living room, a wall-mounted branch arrangement or a larger wireframe tree can become a striking focal point that doesn't crowd the room with branches and tinsel. Another principle you'll notice is material honesty. Metal, wood, glass, ceramic, these are materials that reflect a thoughtful approach to decor. They age gracefully and pair well with natural textures like linen, wool, jute, and cotton. When you look at a minimalist setup, you're not just looking at the tree. You're taking in the way light moves across surfaces, the way textures interact, and the quiet rhythm of the space. If you're asking, is minimalist Christmas decorating less festive? The answer is no. It's simply a different expression of festivity. In a minimal setup, the focus shifts from quantity to quality, the chance to savor a few bold, well-chosen pieces rather than a mountain of ornaments. The resulting atmosphere is calm, refined, and deeply personal. A minimalist tree invites you to notice the small details that often get lost in a traditional display. The grain of the wood, the glow of LED fairy lights, the way a single ornament reflects nearby lamps, or how a soft textile backdrop can soften a hard surface. How do you choose your minimalist tree? Start by measuring your space. If you have a narrow hallway or an alcove, a slim cone tree or a vertical wireframe can tuck in nicely. If you have a little more furniture and wall space, a wall-mounted branch tree or a tiered frame system can create drama without crowding. Think about the function of the room. A bedroom might benefit from a smaller, calmer tree that won't compete with a sleep-focused palette, while a living room can accommodate a larger, more sculptural piece as a true centerpiece. Color and texture choices matter as much as shape. If you love a pristine, airy look, lean into white and pale wood with a few metallic accents. For a touch of warmth, introduce beige textiles, natural fibers, or a single-colored ornament that ties into the room's accent tones. If your home leans toward black and white, a black wire tree with frosted lights can be unexpectedly dramatic yet still minimalist. The key is to treat the tree as part of the room's architecture rather than a separate layer of decoration. Now, let's talk about practical how-tos. How to assemble a minimalist tree from home items or a simple kit. Start with a sturdy base. For a wireframe or metal tree, you'll want a reliable stand that keeps the tree upright and stable. For a wall-mounted version, ensure the mounting system can bear the weight of the branches and any lights you plan to weave through. If you're using natural branches, choose pieces that are straight, with a gentle taper so the silhouette remains elegant. For all options, keep the lines clean and avoid overcrowding the center of the tree with ornaments. Illumination is a big part of the aesthetic. Opt for warm white LEDs rather than multicolored bulbs, and keep the lights tightly integrated with the structure rather than scattered loosely. A single ring of light around a circular frame or a small string tracing the silhouette can provide a soft halo effect. If you want extra depth, use a second, warmer light source from a nearby side table or floor lamp to cast long, gentle shadows. Decoration should support the silhouette. Use a small handful of ornaments in a unified color family. Ceramic shapes, felted balls, wooden beads, and glass drops, all in a restrained palette, add texture without creating visual noise. Avoid densely packed clusters. Instead, place ornaments at deliberate intervals, letting the space between pieces breathe. If you're using a wall-mounted tree, consider a single, striking ornament placed near the top as a focal point, with the rest of the decorations following the line of the branches. For those who love DIY or want more sustainability, minimalist trees are wonderfully adaptable. You can repurpose materials you already have. A stack of wooden discs can become a tiered tree, a few metal rods can be bent into a delicate cone, or a branch cut from the yard can be mounted and lit with LEDs. The beauty is that you can tailor every aspect to your space, your lifestyle, and your environmental values. If you're shopping, prioritize quality over quantity. A few well-made pieces will outlast several cheaper, brighter but short-lived ornaments. Small space tips to maximize impact. Choose vertical solutions first, towering frames, wall-mounted configurations, or slim trees that don't encroach on floor space. Use mirrors to amplify light and create a sense of depth. Keep nearby surfaces uncluttered and in similar tones to unify the look. If you're sharing a room with a busy color palette, a monochrome or near monochrome tree will harmonize with the rest of the decor rather than fight for attention. For larger rooms or more dramatic settings, you can experiment with scale. A larger, open-frame tree can anchor a seating area, while a pair of smaller, complementary trees on a console and a mantel can create balance and rhythm. In all cases, remember the principle of negative space. The spaces around and within the tree are part of the design. Let the room breathe, and the tree will feel like a natural extension of your home rather than a separate display. Maintenance and storage matter, too. LED lights last longer and stay cooler, which is especially important if you have kids or pets. When the season ends, disassemble with care, store components in labeled containers, and keep the pieces accessible for next year. The beauty of minimalist trees is that they're modular and easy to reassemble in fresh ways, so you can reuse the same elements to create entirely new looks across different rooms or seasons. So, what have we learned today? Modern and minimalist Christmas trees are more than a trend. They're an invitation to rethink what a holiday centerpiece can be. They celebrate craftsmanship, texture, light, and space. They prove that holiday cheer doesn't require clutter. It can emerge from quiet confidence, thoughtful materials, and the right silhouette. Whether your home is a compact apartment, a mid-century living room, or a serene bedroom corner, there's a minimalist tree idea that can elevate the space without overwhelming it. If you enjoyed this tour, consider subscribing for more design-forward holiday ideas. Share which look you felt most drawn to. Was it the wireframe cone, the wall-mounted branches, or the stacked wooden rings? We'd love to hear how you'd adapt these concepts to your home. Thanks for watching, and may your festive season feel calm, bright, and beautifully simple.